morning, dear people. Welcome to the infinite breathing meditation. The breath is so powerful because it connects us from nothing to something and from something to nothing. It comes from nowhere and gives us life. And then it comes from inside and again disperse to nothing. It's so mysterious, yet we cannot do without it, even for a very, very, very short time. No matter how we feel, maybe we feel emotional, maybe we didn't have a good night's sleep, maybe our physical body is not very happy at the moment. We can always transform. We can always use the breath to transform and feel so much better. Only what it takes is conviction that within me, there's a power to transform. And I don't need to go with what I feel right now. I can choose to connect to the breath and to rebound into luminous being, into infinite being, which is our nature. So let's start by breathing. Let's start by paying attention to the breath. How is it right now? How does our body interact with the breath? Do we breathe shallow or deep? Do we recognize any places in the body which resist the flow of the breath from the head down to the lower part? What's important here is not to have any commentaries about what we feel, just to acknowledge, as if you're watching something from outside, observing how it goes in and how it goes out. Normally, when we feel relaxed and deeply content and happy, the breath goes very deep. And when we feel the opposite, it is very shallow. Again, this is nothing to judge, just to acknowledge how we're feeling. And you'll see that for sure, in the end of this meditation, you feel so much better. So let's try to acknowledge while the breath moving in, how deep does it go? And if it doesn't go all the way down to the pelvic floor, let's try to see where is the hindrance, what blocks it. And just be present in that area that doesn't allow the breath to go deeper. Remember that presence is pure consciousness. Presence is the movement of awareness within pure consciousness. The minute we shine presence on an object, we're giving it the permission to come back into harmony and balance. It's like shining light on a room that is dark, or when the sun shines its light and warmth on the flower in the morning, and then it warms up and opens up. So just being present with the area of tension. Now when we stay aware of tension, in a way we might see things. Exactly when you shine light in a room, you see things. Those things might be emotions, might be images, might be colors. But we try not to interact with what we see. Opposite, we just being aware, and if they are from the negative spectrum, we just allow them to transform. And then let's bring our awareness to the pelvic floor. And let's imagine that there is a beam of light that comes from the heaven, through the crown, through the whole body, into the pelvic floor. And on that beam, the breath enters. So every time we inhale, we're pulling from heaven to earth, or from heaven to pelvic floor, the breath and the light and the life force. And when we're exhaling, we send it back through the whole center of the body, through the crown to infinity. As if we're a channel of light in the center of the body, as if there is a long crystal that facilitates the light and the life force and the breath to flow through the center of the body, from heaven, crown, pelvic floor, and then returning back. It's super important to understand that our experience in any aspect of our life depend on who we think or visualize ourselves to be. By default, we always connect to ourselves as the physical, emotional, and psychological self. Hence, when we breathe, we're aware of the breath interacting, especially with the physical body. But here, to get to the infinite breath, we have to expand. And you'll see that as you're expanding, as you're just visualizing the expansion of your being, everything changes. So let's expand now the image of the movement of the breath and visualize that it comes from infinity when we inhale, and we see a shaft of light that has no beginning, and through that shaft of light, the life force, the air and the breath and the light are all entering and rushing down through the whole center of the body to the pelvic floor. And the pelvic floor responds like a very soft yet powerful membrane that relaxes down as if it's created a bit of a vacuum when the breath enters and releases back up when we exhale. Now it's normal that when we're connecting to the breath, we're connecting through the ego, because this is our default, to see everything from the viewer of the person. But now let's make a step backwards and let's acknowledge that actually we don't need to do anything in order to breathe. It happens automatically. And more than that, it's not only that the body breathes, it's also that the body is nourished. So just, in a way, step back a bit and observe this magic, how the life force interacts with your physical form, emotional form, psychological form, and spirit. So when you inhale, you're nourished. And when the body exhales, it is nourishing. Keep the image of this infinite beam through which you inhale, or the body inhale, or better saying, the body receives the life force. And exhale and nourish back, interchanging back, giving back. Beautiful. And now let's expand wider and add to this image the awareness of our aura, that all around our body there is electromagnetic field or energy field or aura, whatever we want to call it. And when we inhale, the breath not only entering from the crown, it enters from everywhere, as if our skin became porous. Yes, so all the pores of our skin are like a tiny, tiny openings that when we inhale, they facilitate infinite light to come into the center and illuminate our whole being. And when we exhale, we give back this light, and we also release all we don't need. Now what we inhale is the life force, It's what creates the whole creation. So try to feel that when you inhale, you are nourished from everywhere with the life force that vitalize your being, that make you lighter, that makes you radiant, that makes you powerful, that makes you joyful. And when you exhale with so much gratitude and joy, we share this bounty with the whole creation. And that's power that we are connecting to. Let's first use it for healing within. So every time we inhale, let's pay attention to any part of our body that needs specific attention and direct the life force, the light, the vitality to that area. And when we exhale, let's visualize that the heaviness or the emotion or any negativity is releasing from that area and again being spread out into infinity to be transformed. And as before, let's step back and just try to observe this magic as the life force in our body interacts. As we are forming part of a matrix that pulsates in light. So as our quality of breath, our quality of light, our quality of happiness rises, and we exhaling these qualities into the matrix, other beings who are also breathing and depending on the life force are benefiting. And as they benefit and become more luminous, more happy and radiant, the quality of breath and life force that we receive intensifies, multiplies. So our wellness is almost like a joy and a duty. As our vibration rises, creation vibration rises. So let's visualize that all around planet Earth and all around infinity, there are infinite beings who are doing exactly what we are doing right now. Inhaling light, wellness and vitality, and exhaling the same quality. And the light and the power intensifies. And the love and the joy intensifies. And again, with this high vibration we're experiencing, we can again check in to see if there are any islands of tension, of emotional heaviness, of low vibration, and ask for healing, and also release that heaviness out to infinity, using the infinite vibration, power and light available to you at this moment. And then we can step up in the vibration into moving from the ego to infinite existence, infinite being, beyond the ego, beyond the person. So right now, we transform into light, into pulsating light and life force. So slowly we feel that our body stops being physical. It like melts and dissolves, and we transform into pure awareness and pure light. That is the breath of life. And what's actually breathing is the whole creation which we are part of. We just surrender to that amazing, beautiful experience of being part of the infinite breath of life that never starts and never ends. I am that. And also in this high infinite vibration, if still your system on its physical manifestation are experiencing any heaviness, ask and pray to that life force which you are forming complete part of is healing you completely. Make yourself completely available as the self, as the infinite self, interacting with the personal self. You are both. You are all there is. Infinite existence, infinite being. No need to do anything. Just enjoy and give such a deep gratitude for being. Now this state of being is who we are always. So to say now, okay, let's come back to the body and let's forget that and get back into our life, is like to stop acknowledging who we are. So what we need to do is to be able, or to teach ourselves, to be physical and infinite all the time, in the same time. Not collapse immediately into our physicality and forget that we are as well, always, infinite. It's like two ends, you can say, with no end. It's like a wave of physicality in the ocean of infinity. But all is pure consciousness, like wave are forming part of the ocean, all made from water. So to end this infinite breathing meditation, just acknowledge that you are physical and infinite, that you are everything. That you are something and no thing. As much as we're keeping this state of awareness, our life transforms. Wow, transform. As much as we're collapsing into the ego identity, then we might encounter difficulties. So with so much love, gratitude and blessing, have the most beautiful day ever.